Hey friends, this is Pastor Fevercorn with you for Bible Teaching Thursday. I think we're wrapping up our look at the book of James. That's our fall lectionary in this cycle B for the month of September. And James writes here, be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husband waiteth, and this must be like a King James version, but I liked the graphics, so I ripped it off the internet. The husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth, and hath long patience for it until he receives the early rain. I think modern translations say farmer there, but this is the idea of, a farmer plants his crop in the spring, the seeds in the ground. He has to wait for the rains. He can worry about the rains, fret about the rains, but only the Lord is going to bring them in his good time. We've had a very dry end to our summer and beginning to our fall. As I record this devotion, I actually record them not always on the day of, but it's a very rainy day, and we're thankful for that. But we had to wait for it. We had to be patient for it. And you think how much more reliant an agricultural society was on God and his timing and bringing timely rains and ultimately the harvest. You need those early rains to get the crop going. You need the late rains to mature the crop and get a good harvest. And they had to learn patience. And I think today we have everything so instantaneously. It's very difficult for us to learn patience. I know I admittedly struggle with patience. I have a habit of ordering used books for very cheap prices, hopefully on eBay. And of course, with a cheap price comes free shipping, which means media mail. And certain times of the year, it can take 2 to 3 weeks to get something, and other times of the year it can just be a couple days because the mail is not full. And once I press purchase, uh, I'm just so antsy. Like, well, when's this thing going to come? And I check the tracking every day, and if it doesn't move for a couple days, I'm just so impatient about just a used book that I don't even really care that much about. That I just wanted to have, added to my already too big collection. Or I want to know the score of a game, and I can just pull up my smartphone and click on the app and instantly know all the statistics. Used to be if the game wasn't televised, I had to wait for highlights at the end of the day or look in the newspaper the next day. And so we live in a society that does not foster and train us for patience. And yet, when it comes to things like the coming of the Lord, or just his timing in our lives as we wait for things to unfold, can be very, very difficult. But nonetheless, it's not as if our worrying about things in the meantime is going to change the outcome. And I think we do that. I maybe mentioned this before, but sometimes I think we think if we punish ourselves through our worry, that's somehow going to be rewarded with a result that we want. Look, you can plan a vacation and invest a lot of money and worry whether the weather is going to be nice when you get there. But the bottom line is no amount of fretting over that is going to change what it's actually going to do when you're there. And so you just sort of have to take life as it comes and in God's timing, let things unfold. It's always easy to say and hard to do, but let this word from James, the brother of our Lord, be a reminder that we would wait like the farmers for the early and late rains, that we would be patient about it, and that we would trust God with the outcome in our lives. All right. Well, that's a good Bible Teaching Thursday. We'll see you this weekend in